Welcome back to the One Star Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the Towercast Network. By Cinephiles, for Cinephiles.
E-filing.
And e-filing cinema for your pleasure. Yes, sir. In here. 89 was a fine year.
I guess it was.
Now, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are continuing our former Oscar winners series leading up to the, what is this?
Oscars.
Yeah, what year is it? It's like the,
It's like an awkward.
like the 50th.
No, but it's
the
the
65th
isn't it like the?
Academy Awards on.
I thought it was like 2 years away from having like a big number.
You're probably right. 68, 78, 70. Let's say Oscars. First Oscars was 1920.
It's like the Super Bowl. I don't know. Yeah, so we're at 90th. I thought we were like in
29.
29. Oh, that's right.
Oh, so that means we're
98.
98th year.
at our Super Bowl.
Year. Damn.
2 years. It'll be the Oscars' birthday.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. 98th year. So we're about to hit 100.
How about
That what is that?
Super Bowl as. I don't know.
Oh, 60? Oh, it's because the Super Bowl gonna get like package.
we can't type in
You,
shit?
you should say Roman numerals. Otherwise, it's just the title. The 60.
That's the big number right now.
60. Yeah, the Oscars are over in the Super Bowl, Playboy. 98th Academy Awards this year. We're gearing up March 15th. Set your calendar because aside from the fact that we're doing previous Oscar winners, which is this month, we're gearing up into our last episode of the series, which will be the Best Picture winner of last year, Anora.
Why did it say January 22nd?
No, September.
That's when they announced the nominations, maybe.
They announced the nominations?
No. He's crazy, dude. It's 2000.
Yeah, I was right. Look, they announced the nominations.
There were no announces?
They already did.
When?
On Thursday,
Where?
January 20th.
But after Anora, we'll be doing a live recap of the Oscars the day after the Oscars. So March 15th is the Oscars. That's Sunday. March 16th, we go live on Instagram,
Come be with us.
Facebook, YouTube. Come chat with us. Come let us know your thoughts on Twitch. Twitch, I don't think we have a Twitch, but, Austin's Twitch, maybe. I don't know.
Dude, I feel like something's gonna happen in this Oscars.
Yeah, something's like some Will Smith shit, or what do you mean?
No, I just feel like somebody's gonna be fed up with something already, and they're gonna be like, "This is what you call best picture." Somebody like
Every time their Oscars come around, I feel like there's always a big political like tension in the air.
Yeah.
and I just feel like this time it's a little bit more because I don't know.
I just saw like at least some recap from the Grammys, and a lot of them were on the full like the no ice thing.
No.
Oh yeah,
Do political statements, but at the same time, I think I could be wrong. I mean, look, the Best Picture nominees this year, the 10, it's one of the first years in a long time that every film with maybe some contention around F1 belongs there.
really?
Every film belongs there.
I heard on this when somebody calls that it was not good.
Really?
But I did a cinephile.
Yeah, but Francis, no.
Francis is.
I think.
Francis, talk to me. I know. Fuck going on?
Ah, here we go.
Fuck going on, Terry?
Really? F1 wasn't there for you? Do you think it was just
I mean, it wasn't a bad picture. Just come on, compared to the other 9 on this list.
I know, because I mean right now I'm catching up.
I kind of feel like Eddington should have been there. And
Eddington. I know, he should have been there.
For sure, for F1, yeah.
I mean, there's maybe Ari or A24 they campaign that one because remember A24 also produced Marty Supreme,
Yeah, and they're gonna put all their
or was it me? Oh shit, I don't remember. Oh, we'll say 24. Yeah, they're gonna put all their money with campaigning. They're probably not gonna choose Eddington because Eddington didn't make any money. It was kicked out of theaters pretty swiftly.
Has anybody watched Train Dreams?
Yeah, I just did.
I started watching it. Wow, it looks pretty good.
Right? Like that's my favorite of the year so far. Like,
Or best picture, or just in.
I mean, for cinematography, it's got third shell favorite. Yeah, that's my personal favorite.
Oh, really?
But for cinematography, it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah.
I think there is a strong chance for one battle just because of the whole Vista Vision. Like, Vista Vision gonna be really hard to beat. Because it's not like for Train Dreams. I even looked into the cinematography.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to shoot in film, but because of how they were gonna be running and gunning for the location, they ended up going digital.
I'm just gonna toss this out there too. Just shout out to the director of Train Dreams. He's a Dallas, Texas native. Like, Texas filmmaker nominated for an Academy Award. It's fucking
Like, I'm just gonna say it. If you like Red Dead, you'll probably like Train Dreams.
Yeah, that's what happened. The trailers. I was like, I know.
alumni of the podcast. William H. Macy is in Trade Groups. So yeah, you know, check out the episode where we talked to him. That was fun.
He's not gonna talk about Train Dreams, but
I will say, I think one battle, just FYI, this is also a great opportunity this next month, February, leading into March. It's another opportunity for you to catch these films in the theater.
Yeah.
Always bring them back. Every Cinemark Alamo. And a lot of the times, in the case of one battle after another, I heard, I don't know if this is going to be a worldwide thing. I hope it is, but if they played it in 70mm IMAX, they're bringing it back with 70mm IMAX. I already heard that the Vista Theater, Tarantino's theater in LA, is screening it in 70mm. So just go check that out. That's super rare. Like, I feel super lucky that I got to see One Battle in VistaVision in the format it was shot in, and projected in VistaVision. That's like no easy feat. Sinners is also coming back for IMAX 70mm.
it was interesting.
Me and Rick were talking about this one. Hey, it's not holding up.
Remember? Whoa! Do you guys screen it?
No,
just more.
Oh, you guys did screen it. I mean, the law and I got into an argument. You did.
Yeah, we watched it.
We
You're not-
we watched it. We didn't watch together.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Together?
No. I
just not knowing that.
Like we watched that. That's what you were asking.
No. I mean, like, you guys actually watched it and it's not holding up for you.
No, I just not to like the hype that people are saying that it is.
Yeah, because
it looks nice, but the story.
well, kind of like we talked about last time. Sometimes
That's what I was gonna say.
a lot of these things are like campaigned for,
Right.
and that they get all these nominations. And even though it broke records on nominations, it's not gonna.
I don't think it's gonna win a ton, but I think it deserves to be part of the conversation.
How do you think
I
the film?
and look, this is coming from somebody
win it.
who didn't love Ryan Coogler for the better half of a decade. I didn't feel with his movies. He was doing a lot of Marvel shit. He was doing Black Panther and Creed and all this shit. I didn't feel, dude. I hear him talk about cinema and I'm like, then why aren't you making some shit, man? Like, you're over here making blockbusters, which is a smart move for a lot of directors. If you get a chance to do that,
Swing with this one for sure.
but he came in and did some shit. Granted, I'm biased. It has this blues foundation that I love, and it highlights the blues and celebrates the blues in a really great way.
And like One Battle, it's a great way to like explore a fun story, but with a lot of social commentary. You know,
Hey, you guys seen Begonia?
I've only eaten bologna. I've never had.
Austin saw Begonia also, and he was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, what do you think about it? I know like you're gonna see it. Like available. Yeah, but
I think for Begonia, the interesting part about it that most people don't realize is it's understanding that Yodavos did 3 years and 3 films, and this is the 3rd year, and directors get burnt out. A, B,
For sure.
this was written by Ari Aster, the Ari Aster, and then he kind of was just like, I don't have time to do this one, and I'm probably going to be in movie jail because of Eddington. Do you want to take this one? And Yoda was just like, this is fucking fun. I'll do it like on a limb. Like, he didn't come in developing it from the ground up. So when he came out, he kind of rewrote the script, but you get the Ari Aster ending.
yeah.
It's just not directed by Ari Aster, so it's missing that. It's kind of lackluster in my opinion.
Really?
I think so. I think the ending is just like, I love the montage, and I won't spoilers. I know you don't see that. That ending montage is pretty fucking great.
Yeah, it was fun.
But I don't know. It felt kind of lackluster for me. It kind of felt like, you know.
Come years talk about the Oscars.
What? Yeah.
That was like
Segue into. We'll talk a lot more about. I'll eat one. I'm gonna eat it films at our Oscars lead-up episode, which like for 3 hours, 20 minutes a pop. We're gonna talk about all the Best Picture nominees.
Carlos, can you please give us a rapid fire of who's in the room?
In further detail, in the room. Starting from the back, we have Mr. Ricky Rodriguez, fellow writer director. Is his perspective. We are missing the great Austin T. Young. Not joining us today, unfortunately, but he's here in spirit. He's gonna be cutting this episode, so technically he is here. He's the Aussier. Mr. Michael Ladal offering a cinematography perspective.
I'm excited to talk about this legendary picture. I know, we're in the hat.
This is your pick too.
This is my pick for cinematography, former winner, and lots to talk about. But I'm excited to be here. Nice to you. That's all.
Mr. Jean-Eric Castro offering an active perspective. Playing the drums.
Jean Boy.
Yeah, 2 files are out. Whoa! That's a clip. AI clip that.
Is that what doctor?
And way to time
I have our podcast here too. Your thumb is here too.
Yeah, dude, almost.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Drone thing.
Yeah, I see your nails. What the fuck?
Wait, let me see.
I was messing around with one of my drones and it just.
I remember last time that happened too. That
Yo, that one just took a part on my skin. You can see right here.
Technology kill. Yeah. On your humble film servant, Carlos Eldor, I'll bring you right here as respect. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the cinematography pick of the month for a previous Oscar winner. We're talking about the legendary duo Powell and Pressburger. That's Michael Powell and Emeric Pressburger, legendary British directors, and their film, a staple in cinema, and specifically their cinema, British cinema, 1947's Black Narcissus. This is a filmmaker's film. This is your favorite filmmaker loves this film. I guarantee it. Yep. I proved it to 3 people in the room today. Well, dude, I'm gonna toss to you about all Wes Anderson. Fucking Wes Anderson stole the shit out of this thing, son. Yeah. So Wes, Edgar Wright. This is one of his favorite pictures. Edgar Wright's gone on stage. He has to watch it before every film that he starts.
Film.
Hey, do me, M Night.
M Night. His family was based out of the.
Wow.
Where's he from?
He's Indian.
Yeah, he said he's Shyamalan.
I love something in Entourage. That's like he does a cameo. Shyamalan does a Shyamalan, but M Night Shyamalan does a cameo in Entourage.
Oh,
And he's takes the script to Ari, and Ari's like, "Are you gonna?" They're like in a cemetery. He's like, "Damn, Nudley, this is dark even for you." He's like, "I'm shooting IMAX commercial, man." And he's like, "Read the script," and he's like, "Are you gonna play something in it?" Because usually accents fucking films are. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna improv a little something," and then Ari Aster's like, "Indians and improv, always a thing." Yeah, that's key. So, I don't know about M Night. I'm sure he loves this movie, but yeah, we're gonna talk about Black Narcissus. This is one of those legendary pictures.
first of all, what does that mean?
Black Narcissus is alluding to the fragrance that they're talking about in the film.
Oh, okay.
Right? That the man wears, and I think it's a commentary on the scent of man amongst these women and what that does to them, and where it's found, and it's this erotic theme, not just because of the land, but because of the man. So that's the name. This Black Narcissus.
Yeah. Okay.
So Mr. the Owl, Powell and Pressburger's Black Narcissus. Why Black Narcissus? That's him.
I think if you're ever going into a deep dive in cinematography and you're trying to learn from the greats and you're going into what are examples of great cinematography in the class of cinema, as we usually say, you'll come across Black Narcissus because every cinematographer learned something from this film, and also everybody reveres it. It won Best Cinematography of its year. That was 1947. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah, and it's still in the eras when they were doing black and white best cinematography and best color. Interesting thing that we got from the Bones feature for the film, the Criterion features, that if you wanted to shoot in Technicolor, apparently it inflated the budget an extra 25%.
Yeah. The interesting, because it was the IMAX of their time in a sense. Like, yeah, it was. You're talking about these big ass cameras that are processing for the first time. Really, the first time Technicolor 3-strip Technicolor was used was Wizard of Oz. And from the Wizard of Oz, it just became this beautiful thing. And it now became its own category because it's beautiful. And it's not just beautiful, it's revolutionary. 2-strip Technicolor. Technicolor, by the way, has been around since 1915. 1-strip Technicolor. The way that you could shoot a single bland color frame.
Yeah.
Or you would paint the frame out with the negative that was in black and white, right? But then you get the 2-strip, and then you get the 3-strip. This is 3-strip Technicolor, and it's almost, you know how the common colors, or there's a right name for it, but the 3 colors, red, green, blue, RGB, that's the foundation, right? So technically, the blend of these 3 colors can read. So the way that this is processing the signal, remember, celluloid is silver, molecules, and when you're shooting light through it, it defines these molecules, the emulsion. So shooting through basically a filter of a blue-green filter and a red filter allows for it to capture in this almost exaggerated, beautiful color. And it was chosen with so much intention for Black.
And what's really interesting is that again, them talking about this old process. We're so spoiled now that everything is in color and we can just shoot things. And even Marty was mentioning oh, well, back then it was meant to be entertaining and fun, but it's because before it was in black and white. You had to make a big conscious choice if you wanted to shoot for color, and also it was changing all the rules that they had at the time. Man, before
Color shoots.
yeah, before makeup was done differently because everything was gonna be in black and white. But shooting in color, completely different ball game.
And that's so much so that for Black Narcissus, when you see this convent, right, these nuns, they're pretty. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty women.
Their makeup's
And
done.
their makeup, well, here's the crazy part about it. Technicolor accentuates the reds so much that they, instead of wearing lipstick, their natural reds, the natural reds of their lips were so heightened that the director had to force them to use skin tone colored lipstick just to tone down their lipstick, because that's how crazy Technicolor like captures.
Also, I didn't know that apparently back in the day, so DP would know if he's doing a good job or not. They would send you still frame, but the 3 different strips right here I show you. So they'd show you the 3 different negatives and then the full composite, just so you could look if you're exposing for each color correctly.
It's pretty insane.
And I mean, you know, just taking that into account, I mean, you can already tell that shooting in color at the time, huge challenge. You know, that added into why something would be voted for like best picture this category.
What was it up against, Rick, that year?
Yeah, I bet we know all of the things it was up against.
Good, sure.
Like the father. Just this one was like the father.
Best art direction, best cinematography, color.
Life of Fire and Mother Wore Tights.
All right.
Two classics. Two absolute gems.
One was black and white. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, Green Dolphin Street. Oh, Great Expectations, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, all right.
I'll say this before we kind of like go into our ratio or everything else. This film, from everything that I've heard and seen, I've always been fascinated at this concept of finding the blend between theater lighting and theater techniques and film, because they're both very distinct mediums and they both have a lot of strengths. But when you can find ways to merge the two, and this one merged the classic painting the background and painting the backdrop, matte paintings, and imposing them into the image. I think everybody agrees that Black Narcissus was just the pinnacle of that technique, or that
absolutely. It's the crazy part of maximizing your resources for film.
Yeah.
A lot of the people, like the DP was talking in the bonus features, that like everybody was expecting for us we're gonna do an on location shoot.
Yeah, we're running. Oh, yeah.
No, they shot all of this in Pinewood Studios in London. Okay. All of this was shot in soundstage with the exception of a couple of scenes in a park on the outskirts of London.
Yeah.
So all of this was not on location, and it showed you how you can maximize building your sets, having total control. And if you like Black Narcissus or you know Powell and Pressburger, their staple film really is The Red Shoes. Go watch The Red Shoes, because that's another great example of using Technicolor and utilizing a soundstage to maximize film.
Yeah.
And maximize the medium. And I have to do masters.
And again, this is the maximum of that technique, because it was used like with what is it called? Oh my god, you have them on your arm.
Which one?
The movie.
Oh,
Méliès.
yes, George Méliès.
Yeah, Méliès. That like he'd used matte paintings.
Yeah.
To create his background, but at the time, at the time, cinema was just like, how do we, basically record a play, and that's why it was seen as such a low art form. Like, oh, you can't go to a live play, so we'll just record it.
I do think The Wizard of Oz in 1939 and on really changed what cinema could become. And it's because of those kinds of films that you have something like this. I mean, I think this film directly, if like I talked to you guys a lot about British cinema and how underwhelming it can be, especially early British cinema. Yeah. But then you get into stuff like this, and then you see stuff like Deddy, which is a great Sayaji Ray picture, and how it's shot, and you think which one's informing which, because they're coming off at the same era. And it's just, the foreign cinema was like something that was highly revered because it was so rare to screen, especially in the States. Even Black Narcissus didn't get a full wide release in the States. It got a censored release in the States.
Really?
Yeah, because of the Hays Code. This is 1947, so the Hays Code was very much alive. So people didn't even get to see the full thing until like the 80s or 70s, where like people like Scorsese were fighting for Prince to be shown in revival cinemas. I mean, it's just so cool that these films exist and they're preserved. And I do think in the late 1930s, early 1940s, you have this revolution in cinema that was existing because of the Hays Code and the war, post-war and shit like that. Gone with the Wind was coming out in 39 as well. So it's so cool. It's just the coolest kind of era of early cinema, post silent era, which we talked about last time. So
I'd like to start off with Castro. I feel like
Astro Oil.
visually it's a very interesting film. And the performances, I think we're all just getting a kick out of the comedic beats because they do play into this one strong male character coming with a bunch of nuns and all them being like, stop coming at us, tempter. But like, how did you feel? What's your rating? Where did it sit?
Hold on, let me think about my rating. 'Cause I was gonna talk about the acting. My rating for this one, like you have directors like it.
Yeah.
Oh no, baby, where we at?
I'm coming just. I know it's nice.
Did the acting sell anything for you?
I did not know.
Oh.
I feel like this was 47.
I felt like I watched a bunch of repressed notes run around for no reason.
No, I just felt a little bit like too much theater.
It felt very theater.
I understand. Sure. And
Which really still really is. I mean, 1940s pictures in general.
I always think of Martin Brando and like this era.
Hardly desired.
Yeah, like he's the one that kind of changed the acting into like less theatrical and a little bit more.
I think it was him, and it was like James Dean. Yeah,
James Dean that
loving into this. Yeah.
What about like her character? Do you feel like it was?
That's the only one I really, really liked. Oh, what's her name?
Catherine Kern, or I'm sorry, Jeff. Gosh, what's her name?
Ruth
Byron.
Sister Ruth.
Yeah.
She reminded me of Kate Blanchett.
Oh yeah, especially in the one with the piano. 100%. But I really liked her, man, because she obviously they're all playing the kind of restraint, but with her you could kind of see like
Going mad.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say how can I put this? It's the perfect definition of like emotional starvation, kind of like spilling out little by little.
Cracking.
Yeah, so her performance was excellent. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.8.
Okay.
All right.
I was still with it.
In every aspect of like cinematic storytelling, acting included with that, we've come such a long way.
Yeah,
Like Edgar Wright was saying, he was inspired by this, but I mean, we look at his stuff and he's taking from here and turning it into his own.
So yeah, I mean, just I'm being straight up. I mean, from 1947 did a lot of great things. Just acting for me, that's what I kind of watch out for. It was a little weak in some areas. Hers was probably the best.
All right.
But yeah, fair enough. Like, look at it, it's beautiful.
7.8.
10.8.
Let's go
With an apology.
With an apology?
Let's go to Rick. Rick, where are we at? This is your 15th time seeing this film, right?
At the very least, yeah. We're doing a novel.
Watches it once a month.
It's been a long day, so. I guess I didn't appreciate the acting as much as Castro. I thought the same thing. I thought it is very 1947 acting. Good as well as Sister Ruth did. She was a lot of jerking around and grabbing. It was just, but it is what it is. It's still a brilliant film. It's absolutely gorgeous. Story was very good. I don't know. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it a solid 8. I think the solid 8 is actually really good. I mean, the visuals here were unmatched, but absolutely deserves the Oscar. I didn't see The Life of My Father, whatever the other one is. But I'd say a solid 8 will be pretty good.
Guarantee my ring. No.
Sure. Solid 8.
I'll go up to an 8 because I really did like the story. It's kind of one of those things I grew up, I went to Catholic school. It kind of like asked the same questions that I was asking. Like, absolutely.
Why am I worried this nun's bro?
No, just
why? Right? Why are we doing this? Why is it
that's the main one. So yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit more, but yeah, I forgot about the story. I really just
That's
Well, you're here for the acting
I was
perspectives, man.
born with the acting perspective. Like,
Absolutely, it's
It's around. Yeah, oh, hey, I'm weird. Snake eyes. Snake eyes 0.
yeah, doubles it.
Eights.
There's no zeros on dice.
Snake eyes.
2 1s.
Oh, 2 1s are right there.
Yeah. The rolling a 0. Like, did they disappear? They fall in the take.
And then you give them the infinity symbol. There's a snake can turn into an infinity symbol.
Yeah, but
Where you at? Where you go? I mean, you
No, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna put this one a little bit higher. I'm gonna do it like an 8.8.
8.8.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I think for the aspect that this was Technicolor, this is the pinnacle of like I'm talking about the matte painting era in cinema, and also what I think a lot of people are gonna say, if we're gonna try to pull from like old visuals and old styles, you're gonna use this as your lookbook and your reference. And I've seen a bunch of people who not seeing the film, but seeing like their lookbooks, and there's frames of Black Narcissus because of the way that the colors pop out and everything. So it seems to be in like the cinematographer Bible for sure.
When did you watch this? Was this before Wes Anderson was your favorite? Or?
Oh, this was today.
This is your first time.
This is my first time watching.
Oh, really?
I'd seen a bunch of like cinematography deep dives, and again, it was explorations of certain aspects in cinematography. Like a big one was the way that they used light to divide the frame. You'll see that during the morning or afternoon, depending on what time of day it was, they would use these sharp lines to help separate these sisters, or like the times that you would see that their faces are all darkened out. But yeah, we're separating all the memory from like the individual and
Use of shadow.
yeah, the use of shadow. Yeah, it's super interesting. So yeah, like light as a tool for either bringing people together or separating them, and in wide frames and tight frames during all that. So yeah, I mean 8.8. I'd probably say the only area where maybe it loses some is sure in the acting. You could say it's kind of melodramy, but I got a similar feeling from like the Abu trilogy and like the Sayaji Rain where I remember I was watching it, and you know, this isn't the normal ending that we're used to. We're not used to a film being like, oh, you're gonna go up and have a challenging experience, and then we're gonna end with the challenge kicks your ass, and now you gotta leave, and now you gotta change your, you know, where you stand in the sisterhood entirely. You know, that's so insignificant because we're so used to they go through a challenge and the challenge gets worse, and then they try something new, it doesn't work, and then they try again, and then they win, and then like I thought the story was really gonna end with they finally crack the code and it's there. But no, this was very much like the Lighthouse ending where they kind of go mad.
I was about to say this is like a lesbian version of the Lighthouse.
Yeah, it beats them down to the point where they're just like, yeah, we couldn't hack it. And then what an interesting shot that like that village on the hills lives on in the clouds roll over. Like this is the year we're having. And I was like, yeah, that's a great shot. So I mean, yeah, I want to be at an 8.8. I feel like the technology and everything's gotten better, but I mean, this is going to be permanently on the like again Bible or handbook for like a cinematography. So I can't go any lower than 8.8.
You know, I'm gonna change mine to an 8.5 simply because I think if we go over everything, the acting portion, the cinematography, I mean, story wise, it separates themselves from pretty much everything else we've seen. Yeah, you know, and things that were visually cool, but the story lacked, or the story was there, but the acting was terrible. This hits all points, I think. So I think an 8.5.
I'd also say that probably like it has the flaw that a lot of like classic movies had of how they could just throw a bunch of white people into these like ethnic roles, and it's like, wait a minute, like you're not Indian. Like, yeah, I had a lot of those moments, and I think that took me out of it. But that's like just for the times, right? Carlos, what's the right answer?
This was a little 17-year-old.
What's the
Yeah,
director?
look at her.
But yeah, 17-year-old.
Gene Simmons is the whitest person I've ever seen.
She was a little 17-year-old girl.
She's a little 17-year-old girl. I also like the fact that I wonder if Gene Simmons was named after Gene Simmons. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or is it pronounced Jean?
Jean.
She's British. Yeah, I'm man. I think this is such a staple for, in my opinion. I think, I think longevity has a lot to do with, correlates a lot with all gears running in sequence, everything running in perfect symmetry with each other, synergy with each other, and that to me means the directing is there, the cinematography is there, the production design is there, the acting is there, and sure, it's got its flaws, it's got its limitations, but I don't think the limitations come from what the film is doing. I think the limitations come from what we're used to.
Yeah, for sure.
And what we're seeing. And I know, like, the argument in this podcast is constantly like, oh no, before its time. I'm not even trying to like use that as a crutch as much, because it's easy to be like, no, well, it's at its time, it was the greatest thing. But I think the fact that it has so much longevity and still connects,
Well, the big question is, did it move cinema forward?
it absolutely did. 100%. Not only did it move cinema forward, but it moves cinema forward in a way where it continues to inspire generations after generations of directors specifically.
The fact that we're seeing that with Edgar Wright, he said that this was his good luck film, and it directly inspired some things. That's it's so iconic for Lata and Zoho. Every time she transfers into the old age before, it's the same type of shot. But again, for them, they're not they were developing all these techniques, and because they were doing it on a soundstage, like normally, like any other director, I think could have looked at that scene, and we talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, there's a million different ways you shoot that scene. Opens the door and goes outside.
Yeah.
Are we shooting from outside? Are we shooting behind her? Is it a tracking?
Just another painting. Yes, that's what they have a bit.
Yeah, it is. Is it gonna be a matte painting of India? And it's like, nope. She opens the door and runs directly into the void. Yeah, and it's awesome. That, like, again, there's so many different ways you could have shot this. And then plus, I also feel, to your point of shooting on all cylinders, every composition was so dynamic.
So intentional and so dynamic because of the use of lighting and the depth of field, and marrying matte with practical, and not just that, but look, we have to remember we praise the color in this film, rightfully so, but what a lot of people don't realize is, like, just cinematically and historically, we're talking about British cinema right after the war, with people who are like, everything was gray and gloomy, and nobody gives a shit. Genre noir pictures were the staple.
Wow.
And then you have Powell and Pressburger come in and give you an escapism that never really existed before. And that's why the colors are so colorful and they pop. And mind you, this is like if Persona, if you've seen Ingmar Bergman's Persona, meets, like a Sayaji Ray picture or a Billy Wilder picture, and because the noir elements are there, the noir elements are there, and I think that it's kind of beautiful to marry these genres, and this is very much a genre picture. This is very much like Hitchcock's Vertigo. A lot of Hitchcock's Vertigo was in this, and I think that's so hard to do. It's so hard to create something so original that is inspired. But this thing was inspired by a novel. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was 1947. It didn't have a ton of cinema to base itself off of. It was innovating, creating, defining. But it very much informed the next generation of cinema, and for that, like, the longevity aspect, the fact that it can do what it can with the technology and everything about this. And I think story's there, and I'm not usually the biggest fan of melodrama, but I've grown to appreciate it, understanding the era it's in, specifically the decade it's in. And in the 1940s was drama being cheeky and being strategic. And in this case, though it's British cinema, the Hays Code was around, and Hollywood was the forefront of cinema. So you have to respect that. Otherwise, you're not going to get worldwide distribution. So they have to get cheeky and creative with the censors.
Right. Yeah.
So the nuns being cheeky about sex and lust, and it has to be toned down, right? You have to get super creative with shit.
That kind of makes sense, because to me, the sexual tension between all that, it was kind of a little confusing at times. Like, that's because the sex.
It played so well, because every time you see the nun's character, again, even just what I enjoyed the most was even just them acknowledging it with, like, sex or lust. Exactly. Like, just saying it out loud, is the sin.
Especially in the States, right? Especially when America's constantly known for being a Puritan in public and a pervert in private. When you have a film that's meant to have worldwide distribution like this, for the Americans, it's going to be like, rude, we're being naughty at this cinema. And I think that's a very kind of specific thing. And more importantly, this was screening in India, right? Where Indian, specific Indian like cultures are also going to censor certain elements. So what's going to play and what's not. A beautiful thing that I'll mention while we're on that topic, right before I give my rating, the last shot, right? The last shot, and I want to talk more about the duality of this film because that's what I caught the most in this screening. This is only my stats. It's great, but the last shot of everybody leaving this village and the beautiful last shot, like as it starts raining. This last shot is also a representation. This was the last year, if I'm not mistaken, it was 40, 60, 47. This was the last year that the British had control over India. This was post-war. So this is a visual representation of the British leaving the country of India, leaving their reign. They no longer reign.
That was his intention.
This is exactly what his intention was, I think. Because they were British filmmakers, but they loved this culture and Indian cinema so much that they were like, we're not leaving like defeated. We're leaving like respectfully, understanding that we don't belong here. We got to let this tribe and this people and this village and this
Even him, the shot of like him in the rain, where in the wide we darken up the tone. What's only lit is underneath him. Like it's super.
I'll have you know that the cinematography is so powerful in this film and specifically in this shot. If you guys remember, I don't know if you can start at the very beginning, Rick. The minute the water starts trickling down barely, this, and I'm sorry for the people at home, I don't think you're seeing this, but the shot of the water trickling down was the cinematographer's idea to say, hey, let's start with droplets. And he literally had a cup next to him, next to camera, and was like, just giving drops. And the directors loved it so much that they cut out the whole end scene. There was more. There's supposed to be more where she goes back and talks to the Mother Superior.
I'm not this.
And this is the final shot.
No, good.
The cinematography was so powerful in this, and the composition and them leaving in the water. It's like the rain is washing away their sins.
Yeah,
Kind of pun intended because they're nuns, right? So like it's so powerful.
it's cleaning itself.
It's cleansing itself of the British and their ways. And look at the man in the wilderness. What did they call him?
Mr. D? Mr. D?
Mr. D.
Oh, I just read
This guy,
No. The guy, the beardy dude. The nature man or whatever they called him.
No, yeah,
the holy man, or
The holy man. The holy man was in his element. He didn't fear the rain. He didn't fear the weather. Also, he brought he's there. He belongs there. It's almost like he's a fixture of this land.
One of the strongest bits of dialogue was like, well, ask him. Maybe he'll know where she went. And the kid saying like, you don't care, kidding? Like, he's a speck. You're a speck. In his world. Like,
and it's a representation of like, how when somebody gets a transplant, and the body rejects it,
Right.
or the body can reject it.
Oh, I see.
He lives there. He's an organ of this community, of this society, of this world. They're getting rejected by the body of this community. They're a transplant that doesn't belong here. I mean, it's just, there's so much commentary on this. And so I'll give my rating and I'll talk about like one of my favorite observations.
Yeah.
But I'm at like a 9, maybe even a 9.1, because I was going to start at like an 8-9, but the truth of the matter is there's just so much to talk about in every capacity for this film. When it comes to the technical, when it comes to the story, the directing and the intentionality of its compositions, the everything, this film has so much going for it. And what struck me, I kept thinking about a Persona and oddly enough, Last Night in Soho. A Persona, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, and Last Night in Soho, spoilers. It's about two women essentially battling against each other in a sense. Specifically, Persona, it's in real time. You see these two women in the same room, and they're arguing with each other in a fight. It's a psychological thriller, and Bergman's known for his crazy existential biological thrillers.
I love that.
But this film, Persona, is the constant battle between, let's call it two personalities, because I don't want to give away too much. If you watch Last Night in Soho, we're talking about two women in different eras, but that are the same, or they're wanting to become the same almost. And Last Night in Soho, I think, like, it shows that to me. The mother superior in this, and sister sister Ruth, they're two opposite ends of desire. You know, she wants to fight her natural urges, her humanistic urges. She wants to maintain her purity in God and lead this charge to save people and finish their mission. And the other one's giving in to her human desires. And if you explore the duality of that, it's one woman. I think it's one woman and two sides of the same woman, or two sides of any woman, or two sides.
Yeah, you're gonna have that.
I think that the duality in this is like, you can liken it to Persona or Last Night.
Dude, mindfuck, dude. That is good.
It's one that's avoiding her desires and one that's trying to lean.
Yes, I also feel like that's where they were, you know, again, when it comes to Technicolor, they were trying to be as intentional as possible with the color and the design. And you can see that red, that like in the moments when Mother Superior was reflecting on her past, the red in her lips came out a lot more, because it shows that that's in her.
The green on her neck.
Yes.
And the fact that represented marriage.
Yeah.
Like, you marry the bright man, these will be yours. And again, it's vanity, right? And Catholicism and Christianity, you don't want material things. You want to be connected to God, and you shouldn't want for those things.
Yeah, that's why they all wear the same garb. It's to get rid of their individuality and just give themselves to the church. So to see the very end where Sister Ruth is now covered in red, and the red on her lips, and she's putting on lipstick, but it's almost showing like she's not going to hide anymore. She's going to give in to the temptations and everything. It's incredible. And I mean, I'd also pop so much in Technicolor.
Oh God. I'd also liken this to if I were so inclined, because I love these kinds of pictures, I'd also think that this film is an exploration for longing, right? Specifically between a man and a woman.
Absolutely.
And when you think of films like The Age of Innocence, which we covered on this podcast, well, In the Mood for Love, the Before trilogy, it's their commentaries on longing. And in The Mood for Love and in The Age of Innocence, you get the ending that we got here. You can get a happy ending. They don't end up together. She continues her mission as a man. He continues to stay and help the people and develop the land that he's developing. I mean, that's what In the Mood for Love does the best, in my personal opinion. And something like The Age of Innocence, you don't get the girl. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't get the guy. But I think this is why I praise the acting so much, because though it's melodramatic, it's almost like what we talked about in silent pictures. You have to accentuate so much emotion in the eyes.
For sure.
In hers, the minute any man, this specific man, what's his name, was mentioned, Mr. Dean was mentioned, her eyes want to pop, but she's constrained and she's holding back.
Yeah, because she can't even get angry.
No, she can't. But she does get snippy with him at the beginning, because that's your defense mechanism. It's, hey, dude, you're being cheeky with me, you're flirty. I'm just gonna treat you like shit, because otherwise I will give into temptation and flirt back. And I think this is also an exploration of longing. Their conversation at the end, the hand holding, the final touch of the hand, is the most intimacy these two people get.
Yeah.
Because those were the times, and it's just so fascinating.
But Sister Ruth saw through it. She said, even you seem to laugh, despite all her hiding.
Exactly, despite all her hiding. And I remember you two specifically, but Castro more than you, Rick. Both of you were like, are you guys gonna fucking kiss already? Like, you guys wanted this to happen. And when the film makes you feel that with eyes and small gestures, it's kind of brilliant, you know. So I give my kudos on the exploration of all.
Because the film never had to be sensual, and the most it did is show the paintings in the back and all the fertility stuff. But like, even that, it didn't need to do anything extra. It was just, that's what they were surrounded by. That's what they were trying to always cover up, and they were trying to put wallpaper over a jungle, and that's so interesting.
Oh, the inside. We were talking about the Phoenician scheme and the room.
Oh yeah,
and just like how much of this is influenced somebody like Wes Anderson. That by the way, that while we're on the topic, that opening scene where she's reading the letter and he's narrating as we cut to the location.
Yeah.
That's such a Wes Anderson thing.
Also, the fact that like to get there you have to go through Darjeeling.
Yes.
And then also the fact that at the end of Darjeeling Limited, they reconnect with their mother, and she's at a sister at the top of a hill, in Darjeeling. Like,
Yeah.
it's. And then when you look at I forgot the actress, but for Darjeeling Limited, they made her look exactly like
Yes, you're right. The daughter.
yeah. If you can, I don't know if you can pull up, but mother from Darjeeling Limited and Sister Ruth. Yeah. I don't know, they'll have a picture. It's gonna be
Yeah, no.
oh man, what's her name? It's Angelica Hudson.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
As the mother.
Oh, for Darjeeling. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Black Cars for
Yeah. Angelica Hudson, Darjeeling Limited. Because if you can look at her like when she's in the nun garb, like she looks the exact same as this.
I was thinking of the daughter in Phoenician Scheme. Benicio's daughter.
yeah,
looks
yeah.
exactly like the nuns in this thing.
The way they did her eyes, because in Black Narcissus, the way that every time the eyes would pop and it would be red under like Ruth's eyes.
Yeah. I'd say the Conrad or
Yeah.
I'd say also like if you can pull up the Phoenician Scheme, the daughter, I forget her name, but no, yeah, I think it's such a Wes Anderson thing to do. And if you notice, it's not so tongue in cheek, but when he's on the location and he's talking about the convent, the building, the camera starts panning the way Wes does. Yeah, location, but technical. It's not like a nice smooth pan. It's like, and that's a Wes Anderson thing to do.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. But yeah, anyways, I think that Black Narcissus is like accentuates that, and it's not easy to do. I promise you that, like on a directing front, it's very hard to communicate these things.
No, and talking
Although in Phoenician Scheme, sorry.
when you talk about all these things, all these elements that Scorsese mentioned it, the behind the scenes.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! Come on, Wes!
Come on.
Yeah. No, but when you talk about like this marriage of all these things, the marriage of camera and their technical abilities with the matte paintings, with the acting, with like all these different elements at play, they're like perfectly fitting puzzle, absolutely, in a time when they're inventing this stuff. And they said like Scorsese was even mentioning this was like a studio picture. It's just like hey, we just made a film getting through. It should
be on the mill assembly line.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been this good.
Same like things like Casablanca, like these things just like out of nowhere, but because you have a lot of great artists to thank. And I'm very skeptical usually about directing duos. I get very like, I don't know, it's two people in one brother. It's two cooks in one kitchen, and very opposing views a lot of the times, like the Coen brothers.
I'm with you.
There's a reason why they're not making movies anymore. There's a reason why the Safdie brothers aren't making movies together anymore. Like, eventually everybody wants to explore their own voice. And I think with Powell and Pressburger, it was such a beautiful marriage. They made films. They went on and did their own thing every once in a while, but they made films together till their death. And I love their.
They shot each other on a film.
They really did. It was a duo, and no, but Michael Powell was again. I always make fun of like Scorsese because Scorsese was married like 5 times, and 3 of those 5 times he was married to a director, one of his favorite director's daughters, basically. And I think that's great. Like he was married to Isabella Rossellini. Her dad was Roberto Rossellini, great director. He was married to she was in New York with him, Liza Minnelli. This is Vincent Minnelli's daughter. Like,
You think it was just for love or
I think it's just to get closer to Cat, dude. Like, I'm not even pretend, but I make fun of him because his editor, his post collaborator to date, been editing with him for probably 56 years. Thelma Schoonmaker, she was married to Micah Powell.
Oh wow.
One of the directors. So Micah Powell and Thelma started dating. They got married. And now you have Michael Powell visiting Scorsese on an editing session because his wife is there. So they loved each other so much that The Red Shoes is you can look this up, is Scorsese's favorite film. And he goes on to say that he has the actual red shoes from the film because Michael Powell was like, hey, you love this film so much, you can have that. And Scorsese has them in his house and lends them to the Academy Museum every once in a while.
It won 2 Oscars that year. It was cinematography and design.
Production design.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh no, and
In masterclass in production design.
But then all you have to do is just another film that's competing with Josh's thing.
no, what I mean, when you look at like the mad paintings, which I mean, you know, I have a lot of respect for them, and I mean, I think they probably just had more.
There they are.
They probably had more time and more
And like, still being used today, like
practice and experience, because the fact that like they're able to create these paintings with such depth and texture, where when they're looking down and seeing how far the fall is, I mean, again, to talk about where it, because normally you just have these matte paintings where, you know, I think back in the day, it was just meant to be this big backdrop that just is like, oh, and that's background. Yeah, that's background. But no, this one was like, you saw that top down angle, and you saw that order.
Wizard of Bombers, right?
Yeah.
You get a very kind of panoramic view of it. But in this, you're right. The angles change everything.
Because when the camera's looking down, now we have a down view of how far they go. When it's looking off to the side, it's this long, accentuated landscape.
And it's split down the middle.
Look at all these different angles that they had for this thing. And look, even if you look at that one on the top right, where they're off to an angle and she's looking out the window, but again, they need to have a marriage.
that was the one that impressed me the most.
That's have a marriage of all these things just to make it work. And again, they knew that with having Technicolor, you were going to be able to show off the trees and the sky and the blue when the red's baking. That's true, guys. I wanted the fact that like the daytime and nighttime sequences, I've never seen evening look so pretty in a movie now. And the way that they say, like, everybody was like, God, it's dreamlike. It's because
this reminded me a lot of Coppola's one of my favorite, probably my favorite Coppola films is Star Wars. No, The Outsiders. The Outsiders, how it uses sunset.
Oh wow.
It must have been influenced by something like this. Yeah. And in that film, in The Outsiders, it's nothing gold can stay, right? They'll stay golden. So it has to be an important part of the imagery. But this, like, it's almost like,
even like when morning was happening.
well, the juxtaposition of it really is using mise en scène, to not sound like a pretentious film student, but like the mise en scène and the juxtaposition of these two things, the location that they hate, that's driving them mad, but it's so fucking beautiful that it's mesmerizing, that it deserves to be preserved and it deserves to get its people saved. And again, like a commentary on colonialism and why do you have to be the one to save these people and shit like that.
I was reminiscing on Silence.
Yeah, I just
That this feels like such a parallel with Silence, where even like there's a moment when they're like working there, but the sisters having to keep stepping like through mud.
Yeah.
And in Silence, they say, you know, their comparison was like Catholicism or Western religion coming to Japan. They're like, this is a swamp. Everything you plant will sink. Like, nothing will grow. Nothing will grow here. Like, you can keep trying, but it's not going to happen. And you would see that where, you know, he'd be in these gorgeous landscapes and he'd meet these people. But every time he tried to introduce himself to these people, it would get worse and dingier. And people would die.
And the fact that the climax, if you will, of the picture is the baby, right?
Yeah.
Bringing the baby, and God can save the baby, and you guys are nuns, and you have nurses, and you can bring your Western medicine to save my baby. And it's like, the wise one was like, send her home, tell her we'll pray for her, but she shit out of luck, this baby's gonna die.
Yeah.
And the other one being like, no, we can say we have stuff, and gave her basically the last nail in the coffin. And then he got them on. It's saying a lot, and it's really intense moments, and again, the audacity.
That building's fine.
Yeah. The audacity of Western, perspective on needing saving, and we come in and teach them English, and we can show them medicine.
Yeah, no, and then I love the fact that if you really look at this as a commentary for like Western colonials trying to go and like save these simple people. When they came in, it's like, oh, we're gonna teach them English and it's gonna like save them, and then the English was like, warship, gun, dagger, yeah, and it's kind of like, there was a stupid one where it was like China man,
Yeah.
Chinese food. It was like so idiotic, but it was like you can't even help yourselves. What are you really offering? And everything that they do, it's like they're like, oh, it's with good intention, and we're bringing Christianity and all that. But that's why at the very beginning, it's kind of like, oh, you got a great opportunity, but you don't realize like you're going into a place that has tried many times before you to settle itself.
That's why this building exists. There was a convent before you. The brothers, they yipped it. They failed.
Yeah.
They learned.
Oh yeah, and you could take the toughest and the strongest with you.
Yeah.
And you too will fail, and
that's also like showing like a unity in the people, right? Like we're gonna give you people a shot. I mean, yeah, you're bringing resources might be able to benefit from. We'll give it a shot. But you killed one of ours, so we're gonna unite and not send our kids to school. And
I think the saddest thing to me, and it was the saddest thing in Silence too, is that when they were looking at like the religion and everything like that, they were like, or this guy Dean, he was saying like, you don't realize it, like what you guys call faith in Christianity, they just think it's a new type of magic, and you guys are gonna bring a new magic trick that's gonna help people. Because that's all that's all they understand. They don't understand it as like, oh, if we have faith, maybe we'll get closer to God and God will connect us. They were like, no, they just think you're bringing a new magic trick that'll solve more problems.
Right.
And then a reason people are coming to try the new magic trick is because they're getting paid for it.
yeah, like yeah. Wesley, I think if you like the almost like if the opposite side of it, if you like Black Narcissus, a good pairing for this for a double feature, or just like watch it after Black Narcissus, is Satyajit Ray's Devi. Satyajit Ray Heavy is about a goddess, an Indian goddess who's not really a goddess, but she thinks she's a goddess.
Okay.
And thinks she has powers over men, and men get obsessed with her. Those are just the powers of women over men, right? Yeah. It's not some godly female necessarily, or maybe it is, and that's just how we're programmed. But it's a great exploration on the opposite side in the culture and what they're used to and what gods they believe in, versus food and feeding the hungry, and because that's what Jesus did, and it's really interesting, to say the least. Black Narcissus, ladies and gentlemen.
When you say narcissist,
Narcissus.
Yeah.
do you like the taking each time for the syllable?
Well, because that's how it's pronounced.
Narcissist.
No, it's not Narcissus. There's no T in there, first of all. Narcissus. That's how they're pronounced. Yes, that's how this film is pronounced.
Yeah, narcissist.
Wait, Narcissus. Am I saying the T? Narcissus.
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 Read it.
Okay.
Good fucking. Do you need Google to say it for you?
Narcissus.
Say it, Rick. Like press that.
Say espresso.
Yeah, I don't think the audio is.
Mm.
Espresso.
Espresso and narcissist all together.
You're a narcissist. We're liking espresso. Black Narcissus, ladies and gentlemen. This is just such an incredible picture, and I think there's so much to say. Do yourself a favor, get yourself a Criterion channel subscription, watch the film, and then just watch all the amazing Wars features. Like
Steal cinema.
No,
that's not the inspiration we got here.
not this one. Steal like American Pie 2 or whatever. Not Black Narcissus. Yes, stealing physical. It's illegal, though. Just FYI.
Oh, so my bad. Don't do that. Don't hate, guys. Come on.
Is stealing film illegal? Yes, stealing film defined as an unauthorized.
Oh, wouldn't steal a car. Don't steal the.
So Black Narcissus.
If you made it this far and you enjoyed even 2 words that we said, probably narcissist.
I watched a film that I never thought I'd watch as an adult.
What, Dumbo 2?
Dragon Ball, Broden. The movie of Broden.
Broly?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? You like Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, but I remember I wanted to watch the season, but then I remember like
When did that come out?
Why am I 2018? No, that's the one that was like the juggernaut in theaters. No, that people like lost their shit over, wasn't it?
Oh, I guess it was like the new character. This guy, got insane, Broly.
Well, is it that thing that like Broly was like more powerful than anybody, and that's like canon?
Well, it's a whole story with Vegeta's dad. Like Vegeta's dad thought Vegeta was gonna be the greatest, but then Broly was also with Vegeta, but you know, with those little goggles.
So, like, which one's vagina? Like, what the fuck?
But sit back.
It's pretty good. It was fun. You had fun.
Yeah, just brought me back to old time.
I dig it.
Yeah, everybody.
I just watched Train Dreams.
Oh yeah,
No, so what happens is that Vegeta's dad thought that
He could ride a train.
that he can build a train. Oh man, God, Train Dreams. It's laying down something for me. Like,
oh, that trailer.
you know, I don't beef. Like, I'll say this: after I finished it because I watched it with my family. I told them like I could get into railroading. Like I could get into tearing down trees. Gosh, and I think Robert Ebert, I mean,
Daggerton.
no, Robert Ebert, the
Roger Ebert,
Ebert.
the film critic.
Yeah, but don't they have a website?
There's a RogerEbert.com.
Well, they did a review on it, and it says it is an experience in the film
R.I.P.
reading, and
R.I.P. Dope.
yeah, Roger Ebert died. Yeah, there's
But is
Four
Film Critics website lives on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go watch it. I have to watch it because it is a best Oscar contender, best picture contender for the Oscar.
Don't forget, before the Oscars, we will have our recap episode. So
Oh, it's a moist.
if you haven't seen the films, we will see them for you, but we'll give you the rundown on all of our opinions. So yeah.
I rewatched Sinners. That's all I did. That was my homework for this.
We tried to watch Secret Agent.
Secret Agent.
No, we realized it's foreign.
No, this isn't like we had a big meal and we were falling asleep. Oh yeah, I don't know about this, but I rewatched Sinners and I mean my personal favorite is Sentimental Value. Sentimental Value just did so much for me, but Sinners I think just like it keeps proving itself to me that it deserves to be part of the conversation, and it may not be. It may be its traditional kind of blockbuster in the sense, right? But it's and it's not even just about the social comments, right? I just think the filmmaking's there.
Do you feel like it's kind of a not a cash grab? What would it be like a headline grabber?
It's
When they're like, does Sinners have the ability to win the most Oscars ever?
No. I mean, sure, but I mean, Avatar did a similar thing. La La Land did a similar thing. I mean, it's on the trades. That's fine, but I think Sinners is getting a bad rap because of shit like that. I think they need what needs to be paid attention to is the filmmaking of it. And I think it's there. Though it's fun and it's packaged in this traditional, vampire picture in a sense, that it's getting a net rat.
I feel like if Sinners had only got a 1 or 2 knots, we would have been having the same conversation we had when we talked about like Nickel Boys, where we felt like it's a really good film, not getting enough love, and it's probably gonna win nothing. But like,
I see dream.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna win much. The only thing Austin mentioned that I don't know how you feel about this, Caster. You probably like completely disagree, but that Michael B. Jordan might be the sticker. He might. What's an ass if is that? He might be the guy that comes in and swoops in the Leo.
actually, like it's new Supreme one battle.
No, I want Leo to win. But I think Michael B. played 2 twin brothers with different personalities and did pretty good in each capacity. I mean,
Yeah, dying and living. What the hell?
Hold on. Go back to the nominees for Best Picture. So which one right here on record? Which one do you guys take?
Middle Victor. We didn't have that about team.
One battle.
2 battles.
Some battles.
Little now.
Martyr Supreme. I'm calling it.
We're gonna say that one's a sleeper. That one's gonna.
I mean, save it for the podcast.
Save it for the 3.5-hour recaps. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure to go like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let us know what you think about Black Narcissus.
It's Narcissus.
No. And next week, we're doing our Best Actor winner. We're going to be talking about, a very, very special one. Yes, that's how you feel watching this picture.
That's how I'm gonna.
I handed it. Lonergan's, Kenny Lonergan, man, is an incredible director. He was also a theater director, writer, playwright. Manchester by the Sea. We're going to talk about Manchester by the Sea. Where stand up, baby. You're gonna have to walk
it off. Walk off, Manchester.
But this is Casey Affleck acting a picture. Oh, we're getting a line.
I already give him again.
Manchester by
This is the pickle juice.
You right, pal?
If I move, it hurts.
That's kind of how
That's strap. Yeah, you're gonna have to stretch it.
Yeah, you have to stand up.
Just start stretching.
Or just stay there for the rest of the episode. Let me close this out really
Okay.
quick. Manchester by the Sea next week. We're going to talk about Casey Affleck's incredible performance. Michelle Williams is in this. She's terrific too.
I'm not on the picture, right?
I don't know, but I hope you're not. I hope you're in the picture. We're going to talk about this next week, and then we're going to close out with our best. We're going to do best editing, Dunkirk. Or
We're only doing Dunkirk.
doing Dunkirk for best editing, and then we're going to close out with a Nora before we get into our this year's Oscars kind of section. So
Yeah.
big preview. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, Cobra Kai, go give our podcast a 5-star rating, please. We're applying for something and to be big.
Spotify and Apple Podcast.
That's what I just said. That's exactly what.
Makes it more powerful when you hear it again.
Oh, good. So the what is it called? Reinforced.
Re-sci-fi.
Next week, we'll see you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about Casey Affleck. Thanks for tuning in to the Watch Tower Film Podcast. Thank you.
You already are.